Ramzan Kadyrov, this guy, he is Putin's foot soldier. He is a Chechen leader, a military leader, and also a political figure. He is in power since the year 2007. We know that in 1999, when Vladimir Putin became the prime minister of Russia, he waged the second Chechen war against his army. That time, obviously, he was not in power, in charge. And then all of a sudden, they decided to make an agreement with the Chechnya, the Chechen Muslims there in 2007. Since then, they're getting aid, they're getting help from Russia, and they have become very, very loyal to Vladimir Putin, especially Ramzan Kadyrov. Now, Kadyrov has a message to the West. I want to actually play a video to let you know exactly what is happening and all the details. But before I do that, just to remind you guys, most of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. If you happen to be one of them, consider subscribing. Let's take a look at this video first.
We believe that the United States made a mistake by unilaterally destroying the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty in 2019 under a far-fetched pretext.
Kadyrov, ever the loyalist, reacted quickly to Putin's statements. In his characteristic, no-nonsense style, he applauded the Russian president's decision to strike Ukrainian military targets with such advanced weaponry. But Kadyrov didn't stop there. His words carried a chilling call to escalate the war by targeting the very countries supplying Ukraine with arms.
Okay, so his message is twofold. Number one, attack US, attack also those countries who are helping US. Number two, help those people who are attacking US. The first one is obvious, which is that Poland, Netherlands, some Scandinavian and Baltic nations in European countries will be coming under attack because a lot of them have become part of NATO. So Kadyrov and his army, by the way, he sent 37,000 soldiers to fight with Russian forces against Ukraine. 19,000 of them were actually volunteers. So you can see he doesn't have any problem supplying manpower. He wants to use his army to destroy European countries, these small countries who are helping US. For example, Poland, we now know they have installed medium or long-range missile system to protect those countries. In the name of protection, they're obviously sending a message to Russia that we are coming after you. So US is installing those weaponries, those missiles, defense system, that's what they call it. But Russia knows those installation of missile system in European countries is actually a direct threat to Russia by NATO and the United States. So Kadyrov is saying, we're going to be attacking these countries, we're going to wipe them out. In fact, this is what he said, quote unquote. He threatened, Putin ally Kadyrov threatens to wipe out the West with TNT. Not a single stone will remain. TNT is like an explosive, I believe. In other words, these small countries will come under attack, not only just from Russian side, Russian military, but also his fighters will be willing to step inside Europe and wage war against those countries. Number two, there are twofold, remember? So the second fold is that he is saying arm those who are fighting against US. Arm US's enemies, i.e. what we understand. Who are the US's enemy? Who are the Israel's enemy? United States of Israel's enemy? It is obviously number one is Iran, we know. Number two is all of these proxies, Hezbollah, Khamas, Houthis, Yemeni government. All of these people are actually not the Yemeni government, but all of these entities, they are fighting against US. In other words, what we will see happening right now in Middle East and not just in Ukraine, Russia, is that these proxies, these small organizations, these groups will be empowered by Russian advanced weapon and technology. And there is another report that already suggested that Russia is going to be helping Hezbollah with missile technology and will be helping, to make things even worse, Iran to install S-400. In fact, there is a report now that said Russia has sent several S-400 missile defense system in Iran already. Why Why? Obviously, it is because to counter US and also Israel. But we know why now, because of these things, this tension going on. And therefore, it is looking pretty bad for US in the Middle East when it comes to fighting these proxies. They had once this hope, this dream, this desire that they will wake up and there will be no enemy in the Middle East for the state of Israel, because the state of Israel must be protected even before United States itself. Remember, Israel first policy by both Democrats and Republicans. Now they are seeing their beloved state of Israel is facing an enemy that is not only growing its number, there are hundreds and thousands of them joining, but also getting support and help with advanced weapon and technology, which will make it impossible for US and Israel to operate in Middle East. Yes, Gaza is destroyed, we know. Maybe there will be no resistance from Gaza the way we have seen in the past, but this resistance will pop up somewhere else with much more manpower and with a lot of advanced weaponaries. Take a look.
He declared that it was time for Russia to deliver a powerful strike on the military objects of those states that are too scared to openly admit their involvement in the war, referring specifically to NATO members like the US and the UK.
I, like tens of thousands of soldiers on the front lines, have long been waiting for such a statement from the Supreme Commander-in-Chief. It's time, in response to these enemy strikes, to target their rear military objects with TNT so that not a single stone remains. They sit there in the West, apparently warm and comfortably calm. Let them feel firsthand what real war is like. It's time to deliver a powerful strike on the military objects of those states that are too scared to openly admit their involvement in the war.
Kadyrov's support for Putin is more than mere rhetoric. It mirrors his broader military ambitions for Chechnya and his role in the Kremlin's broader strategy. He has repeatedly framed the Chechen Republic's forces as an essential part of Russia's operations in Ukraine, aligning himself with Putin's objectives.
Absolutely. So there are two things you have to understand what he is saying here. Number one, some people say, oh, we understand English, but no, let me interpret it for you a little bit. Hopefully this will help you understand it better, hopefully. So number one is that what he said is so true. These countries, new NATO members, Poland, Sweden, and some other NATO members in European continent, are too scared to make a public statement against Russia. We have not seen any rhetoric. In fact, Slovenia, the prime minister there, the head of state, he actually, for the first time ever, I have heard this coming from him or from Slovenia, who criticized Joe Biden's decision to use ATACMS and UK's use of Storm Shadow missile. Can you believe this coming from a president from Slovenia? Unthinkable. But now they are saying this. Why? Because these nations, small nations, they do not want battle. They do not want fight. They got in this quagmire where US is using all of these countries against Russia, and they have really no way out. Now they know we are stuck. They're completely stuck in this quagmire, and they have no way out other than there is one thing they can do, which is using their tongue and saying, oh, US, you are doing something horrible. You're ruining us. We're going to be destroyed. So when Kadyrov said these countries who are remaining very, very silent out of fear of Russian retaliation, he said, we will attack them. You are silent, you are keeping quiet, doesn't mean you are not as responsible as US and UK and France and Germany. And number two thing he's also mentioning is that he's going to be supporting Russia's borders. He'll be protecting and patrolling, as I said in the beginning of this video. He is the foot soldier of Vladimir Putin. He can be used to guard the borders in case NATO decide that they will go on a guerrilla warfare tactic and supply weapon, because today or tomorrow the Ukrainian military will fall and there will be some guerrilla warfare taking place. Some separatists will rise up. Who knows? If that happens, he's saying this guy Kadyrov, Ramzan Kadyrov, that we are ready to protect you, Russia. Don't worry. Wage war. Destroy all of these countries. So guys, not looking good for the European countries, even though we know they're going to be pushing up with all of this war rhetoric, saber rattling against Russia, and to be like, yeah, we are getting rid of Russia. They are going to be defeated very, very soon. But again, this is not going to happen at all. Thank you so much for joining.